Lincoln was Steven Spielberg and Daniel Day-Lewis's 2012 film, and it is one of Spielberg's most highly acclaimed films that he's ever done. I personally disagree with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with the films about politics and history, but I do have a problem with the way the film is written. And that may sound crazy, but, I honestly do. I'm not American. I'm from just up north. And, yeah, the movie is all about American politics and American history. This is certainly not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. I just thought that the movie was... I thought that it could have been better. So, some people do think that when it comes to making a film biopic, well, not much of a biopic, but you can still capture the true essence of someone by just like a snippet of their lives. And with Lincoln, it takes place just a couple months, his last few months alive. And the major thing that was happening during that time was emancipating people, like freeing slaves, passing the 13th Amendment. That's really all the movie is about, him trying to pass the 13th Amendment. The movie is 2.5 hours, and easily a half hour or even 45 minutes of this could easily have been cut. Now, the movie doesn't have a whole lot else going on with it. It's just we get to learn a little bit about about Lincoln's home life. Like Sally Field plays the First Lady, and we do get to learn a little bit about their home lives. And Tommy Lee Jones is a pretty prominent character in this. We get to learn a little bit about him too. But everything just always reverts back to getting the 13th Amendment passed. After learning about most of the good parts of this take place really early on in the film. So we learn about the good and the bad that come with like ending the war, ending the Civil War, and would you still vote for the amendment if the Civil War ended beforehand? All that stuff happens very early on in the film, and afterwards the movie doesn't move forward. It's just stuck in arrested development throughout almost the rest of the film. And that's what I didn't like about the film. It's very, very thinly written, at least with some other things like E.T. or Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or even The Post, which it did in 2017. Very, very thick material is presented, but with Lincoln, very, very thin material, and it does not go forward at all. I mean, maybe the first 25 minutes, like the things start moving forward, and then suddenly it just stops. And we get to all of this political stuff that isn't very a whole lot interesting unless you are an American. It's just a case of here's a movie that looks like a John Ford film. Here is one of the best performances ever, really. Daniel Day-Lewis, great performance. Yeah, that's like, but because of all those things, like the production value and the performances, because those are all first rate, I do like this film. I just disagree with the length, and I think that it was a little too thinly written. So I'm going to have to give Lincoln just 3 stars out of 4. but it's still a pass.